Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Spilling Tea with Chris G, and tonight I'm going over Real Housewives of Atlanta. And last night was, whew. Of course, I'm gonna go ahead and hit you guys with my top five highlights, and I'm gonna spill the tea during my highlights. So let's go ahead and get started. So, continuing on last night with Kandi versus Portia. Now, of course, you guys know that Portia was saying that Kandi, she heard that Kandi was trying to drug her to take her back to the room with her and Todd during a night out on the town that they had together. And Kandi was just so done with Portia at that point. They just started kind of tossing around insults, and then eventually Kandi just blew up and said, it took everything in me not to drag this bleep, and she's a freak hoe, and Todd, you got a freak hoe sitting next to you, and she's just saying everything that's not true. And then Kandi said that Portia tried to have sex with another one of her friends' husbands. She was trying to have a threesome with them. I'm just like, Lord have mercy. Portia, on to my second highlight. The calm after the storm. So all the ladies, they went to bed after dinner because that obviously was a total disaster. And of course, that was Todd's birthday dinner that Portia tried to plan. So that just went awry. But Kandi and Todd, they were talking in the morning, and they were going to go on the speed boat trip with basically everyone, but she was saying that she kind of didn't want Portia to come. So Phaedra had gave Kandi a call, and basically Kandi told Phaedra that please let Portia know that she needs to just chill here with her dude, because I feel like I need a break from last night. And I understand that sometimes when you have a conflict with somebody, you just don't want them to be sitting up in your face constantly. So that was the best idea, and they look like they had a lot of fun up on that speedboat. Now when I go to Hawaii, I definitely got to try that out. On to my third highlight. So Portia and Todd, they were in the room chilling because Todd was asking her, basically what was the next move, what they were going to do today. And Portia was just basically letting Todd know that, these situations, they do happen all the time, but most of the time we get over them pretty quickly. So, of course, Phaedra comes over with her freak nasty bathing suit on it. Child, she always got some freak nasty bathing suits on every single trip. I love Phaedra. Like, she just got confidence. She's like, listen, I'm not the skinniest in the bunch, but you know what? I'm about to do this. So she had on a bathing suit that she had from when she was a teenager. Now, I think it was a little too small now. I think it was a little too small. I think it was a little too freak nasty for her. But you know what? Hey, rock it. Rock it with confidence. Phaedra did end up telling Portia that, maybe it was best that they stayed behind because Kandi felt like she needed a break. And Portia was okay with that because they were going to go ahead and get couple massages. Now, last night, Miss Lawrence and Cynthia Bailey were on Watch What Happens Live. Cynthia Bailey had discussed again that, she felt that Kandi had came with a lot of receipts, and she didn't believe a lot of the things that Portia was saying. Miss Lawrence didn't like the way that Kandi and Portia were bashing each other. He felt like Portia was making it sound bad to be a lesbian, and that, he was just like, I just didn't like the whole scene in general. And I can agree. I mean, they're both women. They both have businesses. They're both powerful. And why bash each other like that? On to my fourth highlight. So I don't think anyone had a good time on their way to the destination of their activity. Well, at least Sheree and Portia did not. So Portia and Todd, they were outside actually just chilling, getting their massage on and everything. And then all of a sudden, an umbrella comes flying across and almost hits Todd. He's jumping up. Portia jumps up. The masseuses jump back. this, knocking down drinks and everything. And just when Portia was saying that she was glad that she didn't go with the rest of the group to the speedboat because her and Todd were having a good time. Well, also, Sheree did not have a good time on her way to the speedboat. She was telling, and it was Sheree, Portia, I'm sorry, it was Sheree, Phaedra, Kenya, and Bob. They were all in one vehicle. Portia was back at the hotel. And basically, Sheree was saying that she didn't think that her and Bob would be able to go on a trip like the way Cynthia and Peter are right away after a breakup. And of course, Bob is like, yeah, because we tried to do that in Las Vegas and she was sleeping, I was driving, and I thought, what about unbuckling the seatbelt and slamming on the brakes? And Kenya's face was like, what? They had brought up the fact that, Bob was saying, well, have I ever choked you and abused you? And Sheree said, yeah, you did. And Bob said, well, maybe I didn't choke you hard enough, and were you still breathing? And, Sheree, of course, started crying because that was a crazy comment. Now, this lady named Katie Richards. Katie Richards Jewelry. She's like one of those people that be on late at night. She says she had took to her Instagram. She said that she's been friends with Bob for over 24 years. She was actually down there in Maui the same time the Real Housewives was filming down there in Maui. And she was saying that those abuse allegations are not true, and the way that the video was edited made it seem like Bob was a bad guy. But I just kind of feel like, how do you know? I mean, they were married, and a lot of people do things behind closed doors that we don't know. I mean, great that you're sticking up for your friend, but at the same time, the only people that know who or what happened is Bob, Sheree, and the Lord. So that was kind of weird. There were pictures circulating around stating that her and Bob were in a relationship, and all she said was, I'm single, Bob is single. So yeah. On to my fifth highlight. Basically, after the speedboat excursion, everybody had came back and had some dinner. And Phaedra wanted to kind of do a revival. Basically, she wanted to get the ladies together to kind of air out their differences while the guys go hang out. So, of course, that's what they did, including Todd, Portia's boy. Everybody had, the guys had went. And Bob was just basically telling, the fellas that he has given Sheree a lot of scars, and he's just not really sure. Like, they're trying to work on it, but he still has his reservations, I think, about this whole relationship thing. There were some ladies that were sitting next to him, and he was like, yeah, let me go ahead and try to holler at them. But Todd and Peter were looking like, what are you doing? I thought you were trying to still get with Sheree. And in the meantime, the ladies, nothing was really resolved. However, they did find out that Portia was lying basically about the whole situation that happened. The only reason why that she was saying that Kandi tried to drug her was because Kandi said that she slept with Block, which was true. I mean, Kandi didn't even say that she slept with Block. She told Sheree that Portia dated Block. Sheree was the one who that and then returned set the message wrong. So, Kandi was over Portia. She was done with her, but she just felt like, why would you spread those lies like that? And the fact that I have kids and they're going to see this, and I have businesses, and you both do. So all that slandering. Sheree and Kenya, they were talking about the whole abuse situation that happened a month ago, where Kenya had brought up the fact that Sheree was getting abused by her boyfriends. And then Sheree has shared what happened on the ride back, or on the ride to the speedboat with all the ladies. So I don't even think, like Kandi was saying, Phaedra, I don't even think was expecting for the revival to go the way it did, but it was just kind of like, almost like a waste of time. The only thing that Kandi got benefit was from knowing that Portia was lying. And by the way, did you guys know that Cordell, Portia's ex-husband, actually had won the lawsuit against I Am Delivered for $3 million because I Am Delivered was saying that he was sleeping with Cordell. So, congratulations to Cordell on that win. I don't know if he's going to see that money or not, but he definitely got a win out of that. So Sheree and Bob, at the end, they had went to the jewelry store because Bob tried to buy her some jewelry, and Sheree had left because she feels like, Bob, you cannot fix, years of scars and stuff with just jewelry. Now, Bob's friend Katie feels like Sheree only did that because it's for storyline and she has nothing else going on. So, quite interesting. That is it for you guys. Please make sure you subscribe and go on to Spilling Tea with Chris G Facebook page to see more tea that will be spilled. And I will see you all next week.